So first thing we'll do is create a new project. So I'll click on Command plus Spacebar and then type terminal. And then I'm going to cd into my projects directory. And then I'll say flutter create chatly. Once that's created, let's open it in VS Code. So I'll type cd chatly and then code dot. Now the first thing we'll do as usual is the setup. So I have this assets folder, which you can find the link to below, and it has a font and the logo of the app. So we want to drag that into the root directory of the application and then say copy folder. So now we have the assets in. Next, let's add the dependencies. So if we go on the README page of GitHub, you'll find the dependencies, the configuration for the font, some constant values, and some dependencies that we'll add later on. So we'll start off with these dependencies for pubspec.yaml. So I'm going to do Command T and then type pubspec.yaml. And here I'm going to just highlight dependencies and dev dependencies, remove them, and then add the ones from GitHub. And if we look at the packages here, we have adaptive dialog. This allows us to render a dialog that will look native to iOS and to Android. So it has different styling depending on the platform. Then we have Cloud Firestore. So this allows us to interact with the Firestore database on Firebase. And then we have the Firebase authentication library for authentication. We have Firebase Core. This is the main package for the SDK. And then here we have the keyboard dismisser, which will allow us, whenever we have a text input, to click anywhere on the screen to dismiss the input. And then the timeago library will allow us to format a date in a readable format. So we can convert a timestamp into a format like 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago. Next, we have validators. So basically, in order to have an easy way to validate input. So for example, we want to check if a text input is an email or not an email, we're going to use this library. And then in the dev dependencies, we have, as usual, the Flutter launcher icons, which will allow us to create the app icon, the native splash screen for the splash screen. We have the Linter package to make sure that we enforce best practices. And then here we have the configuration for launcher icons and the configuration for native splash screen. Another thing we want to do is configure the font. So I'm going to come here, copy this, and then come here. And here where it says fonts, so I'm just going to click enter under example and then paste that. Make sure that the indentation is correct. Next thing, let's create also a constants file and add these colors. So here under lib, I'm going to create a new folder and then I'm going to call it utilities. And then I'm going to create a new file called constants. And then I'm going to paste that. Now let's also add the configuration for the linter package. So I'm going to create a new file in the root directory and I'll say analysis underscore options .yaml. And then let's go to the GitHub page and then copy this line right here. This imports default rules. Then we'll paste that